Hello YouTubers, my name is Attila Mate from Blue Sky Photography, and today I would like to talk to you about the third comparison which we are doing with the Sigma 50-100 f1.8 zoom lens and the Nikon prime lenses. Now I did two videos before this. I compared with the 50mm f1.8G lens and with the 85mm f1.8G lens. And in both of the situations you could see the results in my videos. I will place some cards up here so you can find those videos if you want to have a look at them. And this is the third comparison which one I promised to you that I will show you, and that is the comparison between the Sigma 50-100 and the Nikon 85mm f1.4G lens, which is about 1,600 euro roughly, approximately, and the Sigma lens it's about 800 euros, so it's kind of the half price. So let's get into my computer. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention this. I have to emphasize this again, that this comparison is only for those ones who use APS-C size Nikon cameras, because obviously there will be some people who will complain, you know, that the 85mm f1.4 is a full frame lens and just put on the full frame camera and it's not the right comparison and blah 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 blah, whatever. This comparison, it's those ones who use APS-C size cameras and they want to know which one is the best option for them image quality wise. Now we are talking about image quality. If obviously you have personal preference and you have other options, you know, money or whatever you want to say, you know, you can have issues with your budget or whatever. This is about image quality. So let's get into my computer and let's see those pictures. Now I open up Zoner Photo Studio and I will show you here three sets of pictures. One, it will be on this side, you can see the Nikon, and that is you can see the EXIF data over here. It is ISO 320 1/168 of a second at f1.4 85mm, the lens 85mm f1.4, and the camera is Nikon D7200. If we go to this photo, you can see that it is aperture f1.8 82mm. Well, it's not exactly 85, that doesn't really matter, that's not important. And the lens is the 50-100 f1.8. Now let's analyze the pictures. From the beginning, when you look at them, I see a little bit of color difference over here. The Sigma handles differently the colors. It's kind of yellowish a little bit. The Nikon is nice, you know, the bokeh is nice. The bokeh is a little bit nicer than the Sigma. You can see over here, if we get closer, you can see over here the bokeh, you know, it is bigger, nicer and softer than over here. But that is obvious because this is a 1.4 lens and this is a 1.8 lens. Now, when you look at the pictures just like this, does it worth for you double the price? 800 euro versus 1,600. It's up to you guys. Now let's look at the sharpness a little bit. If we bring in like that, well, I have to tell you that this is really tight. Even I would say that the Sigma is a little bit sharper than even the 1.4 lens. That is surprising because I was thinking that this lens will swipe away the Sigma, but anyway, it looks like it's not. This is a very good lens. I mean, it's a very expensive and good lens from Nikon, but still you can see this lens is created for full frame cameras, and obviously on a full frame camera it will behave differently. But we are looking now for APS-C size. I mean, if you have an APS-C user, what is your possibility? What you can use? Can you have another lens with the 85mm f1.4? No, because that's why people, they always tell me, this is a full frame lens and it's not right, the comparison is not right. Okay, tell me a lens which is 85mm f1.4 and it's for APS-C size cameras created by Nikon. There is no. That's the problem. So if you are an APS-C size users, you have 2 or 3 options. You use full frame lenses, or you use the Sigma lenses which are created for APS-C, or you use full frame lenses from Sigma or Tamron or any other third-party brand. But in my opinion, and I emphasize this several times, APS-C lenses which were created and designed for APS-C size cameras, they behave much better on the camera than the lens which was created for full frame. Even if that lens, it is a many $1,000s lens, and you put on a APS-C size camera, it won't be very good because it was created for full frame. Now, again, like I said, this comparison is for those ones who use APS-C size cameras. So don't start to blah 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 blah. Okay, let's look again at the close-ups, and you can decide yourself. I don't have to say anything. You can decide yourself. Look at the eyes. In both cases, they are in focus, but the question is which is sharper. I think that it is without a question that the Sigma is sharper. Okay, let's move to the next set of pictures, and this one is outside. Again, this side is the Nikon. You can see over here the EXIF data, 85mm f1.4, and the picture was made at f1.4. This side is the Sigma 50-100 f1.8, made with aperture of 1.8, obviously. So, if you look at the background blur and the bokeh balls over here, you see these lights. You can see that the Nikon is much rounder, and it's a little bit smoother, the background. That is obvious because this is 1.4 lens and this is a 1.8 lens. But this difference, does it worth for you the double price? You have to decide that, guys, yourself. Now let's get again closer and let's have a look on the sharpness. And again, I can't say anything else than the Sigma swipes away big time the Nikon. Look at this. This is the Nikon, this is the Sigma. Yeah, and let's not forget that the Sigma picture was made with ISO 500. I don't know why I did that. I forgot to change the ISO, and this one was with ISO 320. So even the ISO, it defavorizes the Sigma, but anyway, that doesn't really matter. Shutter speed is 1,000th of a second here, 1/800th of a second over here, so that doesn't matter. It's enough shutter speed anyway. So this is the result. Now the third set of pictures, the Nikon lens, the 1.4 lens, was topped down to 1.8, and the Sigma lens, obviously it is in 1.8. So this is, you see the Sigma over here, 50-100 1.8. This is the Nikon 85 1.4. But the 85 1.4 was topped down to 1.8. Now if you look at the background and the bokeh, you can see that it is the same. These bokeh balls with the Nikon is a little bit nicer, rounder. You can see over here that it's rounder. The Sigma has a little bit of this cat eye shape, how they call it. A little bit, not too bad, but it's a little bit. Other than that, it is the same blur and the same separation. The color is a little bit different again with the Sigma. It's a little bit more contrast. It looks like to me, more contrast, and the color is a little bit different. But other than that, it's the same. Now, just look at the sharpness again. Yes, it is the same situation over here as well. No question. Look at the face, eyes, everything is sharper. Everything is simply sharper. Now, you have two options over here, guys. One is, you can spend 1,600 euro, you get a sharp lens, because this is a sharp lens anyway. It's not as sharp as the Sigma, but it is a sharp lens. You get nicer bokeh balls, and you get at f1.4 a little bit better separation, background blur, and like that. Or you can spend 800 euro, only half of the price, and you get a lens which contains 50mm, 85 and 100mm, and you get nice separation, nice bokeh ball, nice background blur. And I tell you, if I show you these pictures, not near the other, just one after the other, you will not make any difference. The difference is so small that if I show you separately, not near the other, you will not make any. Even a photographer will not make a difference, I tell you. The difference is so small. Anyway, this is only my opinion. And if you have different opinion, that's okay, that's not a problem. I mean, we are all human, and we have the right to have different opinions. That's why this world is nice. You can leave a comment down below, but please leave in a professional and polite manner. I don't want to have name callings and all like that on this channel. Anyway, If you have some other option, or if you think that there is another lens which is better than the Sigma, you know, and it's just tell me, leave a comment down below, and I will try to make a comparison, you know, with that. And other than that, I don't know what to say. I think that it's a no-brainer, you know. It's up to your personal preference, obviously, and up to your budget, but for me it's a no-brainer. So I wish you a nice day, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.